Hello, and welcome to the Kitty Cat Lane. My name is Lane, and today I want to talk about how original characters, or OCs, are no longer original. And you know what? That's okay. The whole idea of having an OC is to have a character of your own that's, well, original, right? That can mean they're from your own world or story, or even just a character that was made by you, but set in the world of an existing franchise. We call them original, but honestly, at this point, most characters and stories are not very unique or original. At least when you break things down to their core and strip away all the extra sparkles and frills. We are constantly looking at and listening to things that inspire us, and as we intake those things, it gets added to our roster of ideas that we can sprinkle into our own creations. That's just how inspiration works. So in a world where there are and have been so many artists, and we have so much creative content to consume from over the years, mainstream or not, it's hard to find a character that doesn't follow common tropes, look generic, or follow a story that's not just a retelling of a familiar story. But for us artists, we strive to stand out from each other. We want to have a unique and recognizable style, and OCs that people will love and think are special. We don't like being compared to other artists, especially since we do it enough to ourselves. So then one of the worst things that can happen to you is when you work up the nerve to share your original story and your OCs that you love and you are oh so proud of, and someone says, "Oh yeah, that reminds me of this other thing that already exists." No! If you have an OC or two, you've probably heard something like that at some point in time, and you probably got defensive or maybe a little offended. That's your OC, and they are not a copy of that other character. They are so much more than that. This story is so cool and unique, there's so many moving parts to it, and they don't even know. They have no idea. OCs can be so personal and so very special to us. So we often feel like we have to defend them and our originality in a world where everyone is trying to find what makes them stand out from the crowd and what makes their art uniquely theirs. But the truth is, by now, pretty much every idea has already been done in one way or another, and we subconsciously put ideas and thoughts that are inspired by the media that we view into the things that we create. It might not be a carbon copy, but oftentimes we're just mixing and matching and reskinning a lot of the same ideas, stories, tropes, and characters. And that's okay. Our goal should be to find a way to deliver a story, or find a way to put together tropes and designs that make our characters interact with each other in a fun way that's entertaining for you or your potential audience. Someone might have already done it, or maybe something similar, but maybe you could do it better. Find the media that speaks to you and inspires you, or characters that you really like or relate to, and the dynamics and chemistry that the characters have with each other. Now figure out what exactly you like about each of those things. You can pick and choose different aspects from the different things that you like and put together something really cool. If someone says, "Hey, that reminds me of this," then try to take it as a compliment. They're just trying to compare the thing that they already know and like to the thing that you made. They might even be comparing your stuff to something that did inspire you or something that stems from the same source material. If you think they're wrong or don't see the connection, ask them what makes them think so, and you can then discuss what you think makes your character or story different to what they're comparing it to. Or just take mental notes on how you can make revisions to your work to try and improve it or make your thoughts on your story more clear from an outside perspective so that it hopefully doesn't get misconstrued again in the future. Now, if you're really determined to make something new and original, like really original, there probably are some odd or new combinations of things that haven't been explored, or just ideas that haven't been given a good chance to shine. So don't get too discouraged if that's your main goal. But for those of you who might be feeling like your story or character just isn't original enough, know that that's okay. There's a reason why the same types of stories are being told, and the certain character tropes are being used so often. or why certain design choices are commonly incorporated into character designs. It's because they're popular. You know, people like them. I know I have certain character tropes and dynamics that I'm a sucker for, and I usually end up using some familiar or similar themes in my stories too. The bare bones one sentence to one paragraph synopsis of my ideas probably wouldn't sound very unique. But it's the world building, storytelling, character interactions, and little things within the overarching story that make it interesting and uniquely mine. At least, that's what I think. Okay, I'm stepping off my soapbox. No one has accused me of making a lame or generic story. I'm mostly just talking to a reflection of myself while I'm saying this. Like, hey, your story is interesting. Even if you think that it's not very unique, other people might think it's unique. Or at least interesting, or fun, or funny. I like it. So you, watching the video right now, look at yourself in the mirror and go, I do have good ideas. I do have a cool story. My characters are awesome. But anyway, if you want to talk about your stories or characters in the comments, I would love to hear about them. If you just want to gush over your characters and ideas, go for it. I am here for it. I will hype you up. Or if you're looking for some advice or tips or constructive criticism, just let me know that you are interested in some help, and I will give you some feedback. It's really easy to get stuck in our own heads. Like, I don't know about you guys, but for me anyway, a lot of my stories have been just bottled up in my head for the longest time. I don't really write it out. I don't really talk about it with many people, except like a very small handful of people. I've, recently made some videos talking about my stuff because I'm excited about it, and I want to stay excited about it, and I want to share it with other people because if I don't share it, then I never will. So, I don't know. In case you're feeling similar to me in a sense that you haven't really shared your story, you don't really have many people giving you feedback, and you want some feedback, or you're just so excited about them and you just want to blah 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 blah, go for it. Go for it, go for it. Let's talk about OCs! But I think that's about it for today. Thank you all so very much for taking a walk down the kitty cat lane with me. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and here's the secret kitty of the day. Bye!